Hi guys, today we're going to take a look at Diet, that it's basically another AI app builder, but this one has caught my attention because it's completely open source and also it allows you to use local models to build apps. Okay, you can also plug in your API keys from Anthropic, Google, OpenAI, and also OpenRouter to use Kimi K2, for example. But in my case, I'm going to use Gemma 3 just to show you around the app, okay, the app builder. I'm not going to use DevStral, for example, that it's a somewhat more capable model to code, because if I have to run DevStral and also record the video at the same time, it's not going to go well, okay? So I'm just going to use Gemma 3, that it's a really lightweight model, just to plan the app that we're going to do and all this stuff, okay? But if you don't know how to use Olama, just download it, okay? Install it. It's a really easy installation process. And then to use a model, that there are a ton of them. If you want to use Gemma 3, that's the one that I'm going to use. Just copy this command, open the CMD or the terminal, depending on whether you're on Windows or Mac OS, and then paste the command, and the installation process of the model it's going to start, okay? Another thing that I want you to be careful about is the sizes of the model that you are installing, okay? Just be sure that you have enough RAM to host the models. In this case, Gemma 3, it's going to take around 3.3 gigs of RAM. In my case, I have 32 gigs of RAM PC, Windows PC, but if you're running on, I don't know, an 8 gigs of RAM MacBook, just be careful with that, okay? Gemma 3, you're definitely going to be able to run, but other models like 1.3 or DevStral or others, you're not going to be able to run, okay? All right, so once you have downloaded Diet, the first thing that I want you to do is go to Settings and enable Auto Update and Auto Fix Problems. It's going to make your life really easier and also make the agent much more agentic, okay? It's not going to ask for permission every time that it wants to do something, okay? In the homepage, you're going to see that you can import an app if you have already started with V0 or with Lovable or something like that, okay? Then you can here select whether you want the agent to be able to build or you are just asking questions about the code base. You can select here the model. As I've said, you can just let it to auto, or you can select OpenAI models, Anthropic models, Google models, available in OpenRouter. The ones that come by default are DeepSeek V3, Kimi K2, and DeepSeek R1, okay? And also you can select local models here. I have all these installed, and yeah, basically that. And just to set up the APIs, go to settings and go to this section and start setting all them, okay? Okay, so now that we've seen the homepage, I'm just going to build a friendly front-end app to interact with the technical support AI agent that I'm building with N8N, okay? I'm going to do a video about it once it's finished, but in this case, I'm just going to use the front-end as an example. So let's click send message, and it's going to start building the app. In this case, I've just asked it to make a plan so that nothing lags, okay? And I'm not going to make it code, or well, we could try with Gemma 3. Let's see if it lags or not. Let's do an experiment. Let's see if it lags. I've just asked it to start coding. In this case, it's giving me the code itself and not creating any file. I'm just going to ask it to create the files. Okay, so I had to switch to DevStral because Gemma wasn't creating any files. And once I've switched to DevStral, it has created the files. As you can see here, it has created a button component. You can see the code here. And if you click to the preview tab, you can see the application that it's building. I just asked it to add the buttons to the homepage, and well, currently they are doing nothing. But yeah, as you can see, you can undo the changes. You can also retry the last execution. There's something that it lacks, that you cannot rerun, I don't know, for example, this prompt here. You'll have to correct it. You can also see the code here, if you want and edit the code itself. Here we have the button component, and we could edit directly here if we wanted. But I assume that some of you do not know how to code, so I'm just going to skip it. Also, we can see the issues with the code and all this stuff in the problems tab. In the configure tab, we can edit the environment variables, and also we can modify some other settings where we can just change the name of the project. For example, N8N Technical AI Agent Frontend. We can also see the date and time of creation, the last updated. We can actually access to the files here. We can open in chat, connect it to GitHub, connect it to Supabase, and also add it capacitator in case we want to be able to run it both in iOS and Android. Okay, and if we just click these three dots, we're going to be able to rename the folder, copy the app, or delete it. Okay, this same menu is accessible from apps. Clicking here and it's going to appear. Okay, also if we get back to chats, we can publish it to GitHub or Vercel. Okay, and if we click to these three dots here, we can rebuild it, just reinstalling the node modules that are basically dependencies in the code, and clear the cache that it can have. Another thing that I wanted to tell you is, well, here we can see the terminal or the output. Okay, if we click here in show token usage, we can see the usage of tokens of this chat, and we have to be careful that we do not have too much context, because maybe the AI model is going to hallucinate much more easily. So be careful with how many tokens you have in your context. Also, we can attach files, for example, an image if we want the model, in case the model has vision. It's important to know that, but if the model has vision, we can just pass an image and tell it to replicate it into our app. We can also choose the context of this prompt. By default, it's going to take the entire code base as context, but we can go to code and basically specify if we want button.tsx to be the context. We could just type source / components / UI / button.tsx, okay, and just add it, and it's going to load it to the context. And one last thing that I wanted to tell you is that you can only work on one app at a time, but you can have several chats open working on the app. Okay, you have here the version history, and you can just, if you want, we could restore it. And yeah, if you want to change the default template, you can change it from hub. You could select Net.js template. I'm sure that they are going to add other templates, for example, SvelteKit and others. And yeah, I think it's pretty much it. You could also go to docs and check them out if you want to have some more info about Diet. But I think that I'm going to leave it here. Let's meet again at the next video, that I'm going to do a video about open source scrapers to be able to scrape with N8N completely for free, and scrapers that are actually comparable to API, but yeah, completely free and open source. So well, see you there.